So if you think you don't like Christmas pudding, do have a go at making an 18th or 19th century one. You'll find that much nicer. And as far as I'm concerned, you can eat more, so that makes it better.
This is our celebration event, The Language of Porcelain and Food, to celebrate our collaboration with Dr. Buttery and Worcestershire Litfest and Fringe poets, who've been working together on a food history project to bring our collections to life.
So my main task was to make a 18th century table layout with some fantastic fake food. It's really just to try and connect people to the food and what the porcelain was used for, whether it's the people eating or whether it's the servants. So it's very important from the point of view of social history. I've got my dry ingredients here, things that you probably would expect: flour, very small amount of sugar, breadcrumbs, dried fruit, spice. This is back when sugar was pretty expensive. The original recipe made a pudding so big, it was a 15-hour boil, something like that big. So I've heavily reduced the amounts.
Food is relatable to everyone. Everyone can relate to that and think about how it's changed over time. And quite often we might think that a porcelain museum is there about the final object and the finished article and the artistry and the skill that has gone into making that and the innovation process, which it absolutely is about. But this is a way of thinking about who would have eaten off that kind of dinnerware, what they would have eaten, what the social etiquettes might have been around it.
I spit bitterness into a teacup of sour currants and curdled milk.
I'm the Worcestershire Poet Laureate, and I've been really enjoying getting involved with the project by writing poems and learning a lot about the Georgian history, getting inspired by the porcelain, the dishes, the recipes, all the history, and turning it into art.
A maiden I of the fairer sex detest the way mere crockery is delicately cradled, cherished, marvelled, adored, while our brittle bodies, now adorned to complement the opulent spiralled porcelain nestled between our master's lips, lay discarded.
So as part of the project, we've been working with Worcestershire Litfest and Fringe, which is a local literary organisation. They've come back with really imaginative responses that are now exhibited throughout the museum, next to related porcelain.
Translucent against the light, and it's the comparison with the servants making the food and the workers making the porcelain. It's just beautiful. I can imagine these people. It's wonderful. In parallel spaces, how deftly these fingers work.
The rougher fingers, those accustomed to the pad of a thumb imprinting on a soft body of clay.
Dinner, not tea, high or low. Remember, all your manners have to be impeccable.
We've been working with Iona Campbell, who's the Worcestershire Young Poet Laureate of this year. She's only 13, and she's written a poem called The Carving of the Pheasant, which now sits just in front of the pheasant on Dr. Wall's dinner.
Hush, the show is beginning. A solitary candle flickers in the darkness. Heady on the air, anticipation is palpable. The feeble glow illuminates the features of your hostess tonight.
It's a brilliant way to bring it to life by connecting it with poetry. I think that's what I was thinking as I was listening to the poems. I could actually see the people using the porcelain.
Objects in a glass cabinet sometimes can feel very static, whereas the poetry really did begin to animate them and take them on a different journey. So I thought it was really very beautiful and very touching.
Tea time attended by pastries and cake, cooks in the kitchen. She bakes and she makes carnival fruits, dipped in clear caramel, served on ceramics to savour or sell.
This is an Arts Council England project, so funded by lottery players through Arts Council to apply new perspectives to our collection.
We've had an open day with children and young people coming along to try out different activities, to see pudding demonstrations.
One thing that I'm really encouraged by is how positive people have been about the food history element. People got lots and lots of memories, and I think as soon as you start seeing the food that people were eating, you very quite quickly start to identify things that you might like or not like, or If you were there 250 years ago, are you likely to be sat there eating off the porcelain, or are you more likely going to be working in the kitchen or a servant? So I think it really helps people connect to their past.